Good morning. I have read through the file, I've read through the motion, I've read through the guardian ad litem's report. And I'm happy to hear anything else you want to hear in the way of proof. Do I need to hear any proof?
Judge, we've still got several concerns, because Duffy does. One of which is Mr. Duffy was falling asleep at all of the visitations. So, falling asleep, leaving the kids unattended out, but got a supervisor there with them, so that's okay. But if Your Honor has looked out in the courtroom this morning, he fell asleep on the front row of the bench this morning also. So, I mean, there are some concerns about these kids in an unsupervised state. And that's just...
And I'll conduct a hearing. Everybody grab you a table and we'll start that hearing. We're proceeding on the husband's motion to expand his temporary visitation time and to lift the supervision.
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
Go ahead and call your client.
I'd like to go ahead and call Mr. Duffy, and I also have
Mr.
his...
Duffy, if you'll come around, please. Is the rule requested?
Yes.
The rule has been requested, so anyone who is not a party to this action but is going to be a witness must go outside of the courtroom and remain outside of the courtroom until you are called to testify. You're not to discuss the testimony of any other witness with anyone prior to yourself being called to testify. Counsel are under a continuing duty to ensure that the rule is complied with. Go ahead.
Good morning, Mr. Duffy.
Good morning.
At this point, you have currently supervised visitation with the children on Sundays from 8 to 5, is that correct?
That's correct.
And do you want to tell the court a little bit about how that's been going since we were here last in January and the court expanded your time?
Yes, ma'am. It's been going pretty well. We spend time at the park. We take the girls and the older kids to breakfast, and we go do estate selling and yard selling just to keep them out of the house, and travel around. We go down to the Dragon Park and down near Vanderbilt. We've gone to the Frisk Center in the past, not recently, but that's one of the things. They like to go and do the little art, light walls, and color and draw.
How are your younger children handling that extended time with you?
I think they do fine. For the most part, by the time we get in the car to come back from Nashville, they're tuckered out. They're ready to go to sleep and they take a nap.
And when you have them, do you have your older children as well?
Most times, there's been a couple of occasions that I haven't.
And how are you doing with having all 5 children at once for that extended period?
Oh, it's a blast.
It must be, I would imagine it must be a little challenging as well.
It can be.
I know that in previous hearings, we've heard a lot of testimony about your one son who has ADHD, and is he the most difficult of the children to handle?
It's fluctuating as to which one's more difficult now.
Tell us about that.
Parker's getting a lot better. He's going through his things, and he just recently had his recent appointment. Jackson's getting to be a little bit more challenging. He's not necessarily aggressive as he's being a boy, and they don't want to listen to keep your hands to yourself.
How about the little ones?
The 2 little girls, they're fun. They pretty much listen to everything. They see it all.
Have you been working with, I think there's potty training going on with your older daughter?
Yeah, not so much for the 4-year-old. That's basically on mom's time because they're only with me for 9 hours, so I don't really get a chance. But I mean, we do offer, and she tells me if she has to go potty.
And do you feel that you've been able to handle them better since you've done extensive classes, parenting and the anger management? Can you tell the court a little bit about how you feel you handle them?
Yes, ma'am. So I was like, with the extensive classes, it's a parenting thing. You have to be able to be there, and at 9 hours, I just can't. And I want to have that extended time so I can be that parent that Miss Duffy wants me to be, but at the same time as I can't be that parent because I don't have the time to be that parent.
Do you feel that there are things that you have learned in your class have helped you with managing both your two boys that you mentioned can be rambunctious and the little ones? And-
Yeah, keeping them kind of riled or contained, or I wouldn't say contained, but off kilter as to what I'm gonna do in terms of, hey, you can't do that, you need to go here, kind of deal.
Do you feel that you can handle the children without your Aunt Connie Russell present?
I can't handle them without her. However, for the most part, she'll probably still be around. I mean, she's a big part of the kids' lives, all 5 of them.
And she is not a supervisor for your older children, correct?
Correct.
You have unsupervised 50-50 custody with them.
Correct.
But is it true that Miss Russell is still around a lot when you have them?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
And what would you do? How would you kind of work things out if you were to be able to have the children for a full weekend?
Here coming up soon, I have quite a bit of time off work due to the summertime, and my older kids' schedule. Excuse me. But I'm looking into, depending upon who it is, I am looking into sitter situations as to who I would need and what I would need them for.
And I know the court had had some concerns about sitters in the past. Can you tell us a little bit about your approach to that?
Currently, no longer I'm using my aunt as the sitter. If I do drive, I don't drive as much, when the kids are with me. If they are with me, it's maybe an hour here, an hour there, maybe 3 at the max. And then they're all in at the house before like 11 o'clock.
And who have you used as a sitter? And have you used anyone in addition to your aunt?
I had one young lady come in, who was a friend of a friend. Her name, the friend's mom is Jessica.
That was a friend of the children's mom? Okay.
Correct. Yes. So it was a mom. Her name's Jessica. She actually ended up coming over, and I drove her daughter on a prom night, and then she actually came and watched the older kids, and she did it on a Friday night, wasn't able to do it on a Saturday night. And then since then it's been my aunt.
Okay. And that was a young woman who about 17 or 18?
That was the young lady that she ended up leaving that night early, and Jessica came over and replaced her after about an hour.
Got it. And do you have any concerns about having, all 5 children for a weekend?
No, ma'am.
You heard opposing counsel say that there are some concerns about you not being able to stay awake the whole time. Is that something that you're worried about? Have there been issues with that?
Not really. I mean, there's been an instance where I did nap during when I first got the girls, when I was having for 9 hours. I was driving a lot more, which I've cut back on. But at that same time, they both were in my lap and they were napping with me.
Okay. And your aunt was there as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything else that you would like the court to know?
I want to be able to parent my children. And if Miss Duffy says that, hey, I want him to be able to parent his children, let me parent them, or at least let me try.
Have you and Miss Duffy been getting along better?
For the most part. I mean, there's been a few instances where while I've been at work and she's actually shown up to my job, she's allowed the girls to come in and see me in my office.
Has that been something that's made you happy?
It has.
Do you feel good about your ability to co-parent with her going forward?
Yeah.
Do you realize that if you were to have a longer period of time with the children, you'd have to have a lot more interactions with Miss Duffy?
And that is perfectly fine.
And how have you been doing in your relationship with your older children's mother?
It's actually the best it's been in 22 years.
And does she feel good about where you are right now?
I think so.
And the children? How are they all doing?
Oh, they love it. They're having a blast. One of them got hurt the other day, but not really something I could have controlled.
Okay. And are the older children helpful for you with the little ones?
The boys are more on the play side, Ella more on the helping side.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Duffy.
Duke?
explain to this court why you fell asleep on the front row this morning?
I was resting my eyes.
Okay. Are you not sleeping at night?
I do have some trouble sleeping, yes, ma'am.
And you agree with me that you have fallen asleep on, sorry, I'm a little bit taller. You've fallen asleep a couple of times on FaceTime calls with the kids and while the kids are with you. You recall that?
While the kids were with me, yes. When they were napping on me, yes.
Okay.
On a FaceTime call, no. I'm pretty positive. I don't recall. There's been times when I've been tired on FaceTime calls.
If Miss Duffy reports that you've fallen asleep on 5 or 6 different occasions, would that be inaccurate?
I couldn't tell you for sure, ma'am.
Is that you asleep on FaceTime?
I couldn't tell you if I was asleep or if I just had my eyes closed or blinking, ma'am.
Okay, well, if you're on a FaceTime call with your children, why would you be closing your eyes and resting your eyes?
Like I said, I don't know if I was closing my eyes or if I was blinking. I couldn't tell you for sure if I was asleep.
Judge, I'd submit that as the first marked exhibit to the hearing.
Mark it as Exhibit 1.
Sir, your minor children are 4 years old and 3 years old, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And the home that you're living in has got some waste in the back of it, is that correct?
It's storage for somebody else's property at this point.
Okay, and you can agree with me that that's not safe for your minor children at this point in time?
They don't play in the backyard,
Okay. Do they go outside?
not into the backyard, not into the front yard, really. Most of the time, if they're outside, because we're only there for 9 hours, they go to a park or we go to my aunt's house. My aunt has a very large yard.
Okay, well, that brings up another concern. If they're only there for 9 hours, why have you not taken it upon yourself to get the mess cleaned up at your home?
The mess is not mine, ma'am. The mess is storage, if that's what you want to call it.
That accurately depict what the back of your home looks like currently?
Yes, ma'am. This is storage of stuff that's not mine.
Okay. Judge, I'd submit those as the next marked exhibit.
Mark it as Exhibit 2.
Tell me what you've done to remedy the brown recluse issue in your home.
There hasn't been any brown recluse sightings since prior when we stayed there.
Okay, and when you met with Ms. Smith, the guardian ad litem in this matter, you did not meet with her at your home, did you, sir?
No, I did not.
Okay, you met with her at Montgomeryville.
That's correct.
Okay, so she hasn't seen the home where the children are living.
No, she is not.
Okay, or where the children would stay, per se. And you said just a minute ago that you have been driving the limo when the kids are in your care, but you agree with me, sir, that there is a court order out of Wilson County that prevents you from driving the limo when your big kids are with you.
Yes and no.
Okay, so you're violating a court order out of Wilson County currently because you're driving that limo when your big kids are with you. Yes or no?
I don't know exactly what that court order says. Their mother says that I'm okay to drive as long as there's childcare, and my aunt's been the childcare.
Okay, so if the mother of those children has told this mother that she's not okay with that, that would be a lie?
that would be conflicting stories because she's told me one thing and told her something else.
Okay, but no doubt there's a court order that says you're not to be driving when your big kids are in your care and custody, correct?
And I'm going to object. Do we have a copy of this order?
I can ask him about the order.
Overrule the objection. I think he can be asked about the order if he's aware. This is an issue that came up at a prior hearing as well, but
I don't have a copy of the order.
Okay.
I've never received a copy of the order.
And what sort of verification can you give this court that if you're violating a court order out of Wilson County, that you'll follow the court order that this judge puts down?
Like, again, I don't have the court order, so I can't speak to that. I've never received a court order, a copy of it, or whatever the case may be.
Okay, sir, you're backtracking now. You agreed
I'm not
with me
backtracking.
a minute ago, sir, that there is an order, but you two had agreed, you and your ex had agreed that as long as you had a care provider, that you could still do your limo services. So is there an order or is there not an order?
There's an order to an extent. There's certain things within that order that have also changed. So
Okay,
I
but the
couldn't
order
speak to that.
itself has not changed, correct?
I don't have the order, ma'am. I don't know.
Okay. Sir, you agree with me that Miss Duffy sends you updates about the minor children, correct? When they're sick and when she's chosen a pediatrician and things like that, correct?
There was one text about a possibility of a pediatrician. I have not received any text about appointments or anything.
Okay. Well, in fairness, have you responded to anything the mother sent you?
I don't know what she would have sent me other than a possibility of a pediatrician that she was thinking about using.
Okay. Well, when she sent you that email, sir, did you respond to it?
I don't know what email you're speaking of.
Okay. Have you responded to any of the mother's emails, sir?
I don't know what email she sent me.
Okay. Sir, if it's your email address they're being sent to, why don't you know what emails are being sent?
I have 27,000 unread emails in my phone right now.
So you're collecting emails? I mean, how do you expect the
I don't
mother to
know.
communicate with you if you're just hiding behind the fact that you've got 27,000 unopened emails?
Because there's also a phone with a text message portion that she would normally use. That's why she sent me a thing saying, hey, the girls are in the shower right now. They'll call you back in a moment.
Three different emails, sir. If you'll look at those and familiarize yourself with them, please.
has Ms. Morris seen the emails?
Yes, Your Honor.
The first email that states 9 to 5 visitation was after the very first Sunday. I did not receive this email until the day of our visitation. I showed up at 8 o'clock thinking that was the time that was stated. She also showed up. So I didn't think that was relevant to respond to it because we were both there at 8 o'clock.
Okay. Okay, what are those two emails about, sir?
One is about the girls having a little over 100 fever.
Did that not concern you enough that you would have responded?
I was picking them up that day.
Okay. Did
So
you-
why would I need to respond? It's literally, I got that if I'm not mistaken, I read that an hour before I was picking them up
Okay,
or on the way to pick them up.
okay. And did you follow up with her after you dropped them back off to determine whether or not they were feeling better?
Did I what? I'm sorry.
Did you follow back up with her after the fact to make sure they were feeling better? After you dropped them back off?
On Tuesday, when I had my video call,
You're telling the court that you spoke to her about how the kids were doing that day. That's your testimony before this
I
court.
could see how they were doing. They were feeling
So
better
you
on
did
Tuesday.
not ask. You waited several days.
I waited 2
And
days,
then
yes,
you
ma'am.
visually saw them.
But they were doing okay.
But when your children are running a temperature like that, does it not give you pause to follow up to find out how they're doing?
It would,
But
but
it didn't in this case, did it?
can we address the third one?
Okay, I'm asking you about the second one.
Okay.
Okay. You did not follow up about that, right?
No.
Okay. So let's talk about the third one there, about is it molluscum that they had? Do you even know what virus they had?
The virus? No, I do not.
Okay, so
So-
why did you not find out what virus they had?
I don't know what it was. I didn't know what it was called. I did look it up. Still don't know what it was called. But
Is there a
this
reason?
email is the one that pertains to the supposed diaper rash I gave them 2 and 4 hours.
Okay. Did she tell you that the children had, diaper rash is not written in there anywhere, is it?
I know it's not, but
Okay.
that's what I was
And
being told I gave them.
in that email, she verifies with you that, hey, the kids have a virus. Did you ever follow up to see how they were doing?
I see it every Sunday.
Is this about you or is it about the children? Do you care about the children or do you care about you?
If I didn't care about the children, I wouldn't be here right now.
Judge, I'd submit those three as the next marked exhibit, please.
Mark them as Exhibit 3.
Your 4-year-old's potty training, correct?
That's correct.
And you can't be bothered to assist with that during your 9 hours of visitation, is what I heard you say a few minutes ago. You tell me if I'm wrong.
No, ma'am, it's not that at all.
Okay. Can you tell me, sir, why when the child gets sent in a pull-up that you send her back home in a diaper when pull-ups are provided for you?
Pull-ups were never provided for me,
Okay.
ever.
If you knew the child was potty training, why did you not get some pull-ups for the child?
I have training panties right now for the child.
Okay, then why
The
did you
child
send
would-
her home in a diaper?
When was that?
Sir, have you sent them home in a diaper, or do I just need to have Miss Duffy testify about that?
The 2-year-old, yes, I've sent home in a diaper, and I changed her from a 7 down to a 6 because the 6s are what I have and they still fit.
Okay.
The 4-year-old had training panties on. Prior to that, there was 1 or 2 weeks where she wore a size 7, and I also put her in a size 6 prior to her to go basically straight from diapers to training panties.
Okay, but a minute ago, when you were talking to your lawyer under direct, you said, I only have 9 hours, so I'm really not working with her on that right now. Something to that effect. Correct me
not
if
that-
I'm wrong.
I'm going to correct you because you're wrong. It's not that I'm not working with her. It's because I only have 9 hours. I offer her the bathroom. She tells me when she needs to go. She says, Daddy, I need to go potty. Okay, let's go potty. So much, in fact, that I actually keep a child toilet seat in the car just in case we're out and about.
What is your work schedule right now?
9 to 5:30, Monday through Thursday and Saturdays.
Monday through Thursday, and then you've got Saturdays also. What times on Saturdays are you working?
Same time.
9 to 5:30?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And your limo driving, tell me about that.
Most of the time it's during the week, Monday through Thursday.
Okay, and what time are you driving Monday through Thursday?
It varies by time.
Give me the example of the last 2 times you've driven Monday through Thursday.
10 to 2, 10 to 1.
Well, I heard you, when you say 10 to 2, 10 to 1, is that 10 p.m. or 10 a.m.?
10 p.m.
Okay. I heard you a few minutes ago say you did a prom, but prom doesn't start at 10. What time did you do that one at?
That one was a few weeks ago, and I did a pickup at 5 and dropped off at 7.
And during that time period, where were your minor children?
They were with their mother. It happened to be on a Friday when they were with her on her weekend.
Okay. So you didn't have any children in your care?
No, ma'am.
Okay, why did you reference that you had a babysitter helping take care of your children on that date?
It wasn't for that date. It was for a different date.
Okay, tell me what date that was.
I don't know exactly what date it was, but it was not the same day as the prom.
Okay.
The prom is where I met Jessica, who watched the kids for that date, which, if I'm not mistaken, was the subsequent weekend.
And what is Jessica's last name, sir?
I don't know off the top of my head. It's in my phone.
Okay. So you're having Jessica watch children and you don't even know her last name?
It's in my phone, ma'am.
You agree, sir, that on February the 2nd that you had one of your 9-hour visits with your children, correct?
If that was a Sunday, then yes.
Judge, may I approach?
You may.
You got Facebook, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And on the day of February the 2nd, you were active on Facebook at 12:20 p.m., correct? It shows activity on Facebook, doesn't it,
It just says that I'm logged in. That's
Okay.
it.
And then again at 1:57, you're on your Facebook, correct? When you have that little dot, that means you're active, correct?
That just means you're logged in.
Okay.
It doesn't mean you're active at all.
And then at 2:15 p.m., you're there again, is that correct?
Oh, okay. I'm
And
not
then
understanding
at
this.
3:25 p.m., you're on Facebook again.
Okay.
Is that a yes?
Again, that dot doesn't mean that I'm active. It just means I'm logged in. That's all it means.
And at 6:16, you're active on Facebook again, correct?
Okay.
Sir, you've got a limited amount of time that you are with your minor children, and on this date, just at the time mother checked, you were active on Facebook, were you not?
No, no, ma'am.
Judge, that is not exhibit.
Mark it as exhibit 4.
That dot just means that you're logged in. It doesn't mean that you're active on anything.
Okay. And you agree with me that during your marriage, and the court has seen videos of you, instead of paying attention to your children, being on your phone, and you continue to have that issue. Is that a fair statement?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so you're telling this court that you just happened to be logged in, but you weren't active on Facebook?
My phone stays logged into Facebook.
Okay. So you weren't commenting on the Kingston Springs buy, sell, and trade about a vehicle while you had your minor children with you?
There's always a possibility for that.
Okay.
But I don't
So you
know.
agree with me that you're on Facebook and you're active if you're commenting on these buy, sell, trade?
Not at all times.
Judge, may I approach?
You may.
Sir, do you remember asking about a Tahoe and asking how much it would cost while you were with your children?
I don't know.
Is this you, sir?
That's me, sure.
Okay, and you asked price for the Tahoe. Is that correct?
Yeah, I guess.
Judge, I'd submit that as the next one.
Can you tell me what date that was?
This would have been on the 2nd
Are you sure?
Second of what?
February.
Would be marked as exhibit 5.
Sir, when you met with Miss Smith, you blamed all the issues in this case on the mothers of your children, correct?
That's not completely true.
Okay, did you see
my
the
financial
report?
hardships? Absolutely.
Did you see the reports that Miss?
I read the report.
Okay, and she said that you had someone else to blame other than yourself on nearly every question she was
And I'm going to
discussing.
object. I think that's a complete mischaracterization of the report.
I can,
Sustained, the report will speak for itself, and Ms. Smith is here, so she'll be able to address that as well.
Have you been speaking to the children about the issues in this case and the issues you have with their mothers?
Other than the fact that I love their mothers, but not as a partner or spouse, absolutely. But that's as far as it goes.
During your visits, where are you eating? Are you preparing meals for the children, or are you taking them places to eat?
Most of the time we'll go out.
Okay, and you're getting them. Most recently bought your 2-year-old a Coke and a Dr. Pepper. Is that correct? A Coke or a Dr. Pepper?
A what?
A Coke or a Dr. Pepper. I may be a crunchy mom, but that's one thing I did not provide my kids: caffeine at age 2. So, are you providing caffeine to your 2-year-old?
Is she drinking some of ours? Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
But she doesn't like suck it down.
Do you think that that's in her best interest, sir?
Yes and no. She gets a sip here and there.
Okay. Judge, if I may have just one moment.
You may. Morris, you have follow-up?
I think Ms. Furlong-Smith has.
Oh, I'm sorry. I always seem to forget you. You stay out there in the corner.
I'm very
out of
forgettable.
You're out of my line of sight. I forget about you.
Okay, so I talked with Ms. Flores Pugh, and she said you successfully completed anger management parenting.
Yes, ma'am.
And so what did you learn in anger management that you think has benefited you?
And now it's more of just taking the time to assess the situation, calm down, make sure I'm making the right consequences for the actions that are at hand.
Okay, so you would agree that before these classes, for lack of a better word, you might have blown off the handle.
Oh yeah.
But you feel like the anger management did realize that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And what about the parenting? How have you incorporated what you learned?
Not, the boys are boys and they beat on each other, and I get that. When I'm in the front of the car and they're in the back of the car, it's kind of difficult. There's been times I've had to threaten to pull over, but I don't, and it's just like, come on guys, put your hands in the air. Taking the time to relax now, especially with them, because they're the handful. It's just more of just taking the time to process everything instead of jumping straight into conclusions.
And this is the first time I've learned that there's a concern about your house. Now, tell me about your house.
It's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house, about 1,000 square feet. About 1,000 square feet.
What is this in the backyard?
It's a family member's stuff who lived there previously.
And like, when you say stuff, what do you mean?
It's stuff out of his storage units.
And it's just in the backyard?
It's underneath the carport for the most part, and then some of the things are outside of the carport. There's a few vehicles back there as well.
Do you think that you can, have your family move the stuff?
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's a busy guy. He's a busy man. He's a 24 on 48 hour off firefighter and also does other side gigs as well.
But if that's a problem for Ms. Duffy, you can have him remove the stuff.
Absolutely.
And your children, I guess they don't spend a whole lot of time at your house at this point. Is that correct? That's what I understood from my visit. And
The little girls, no. The big kids, yes.
older children do.
Correct.
They spend the night.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, I did express a concern about the blaming or your wife and your ex-wife on your woes now. I did express a concern about that, and I do have a concern about that. If the judge orders you to not discuss your problems with your wife and ex-wife, you would agree to do that. Is that correct?
That's correct.
I have no more questions.
All right, now, Ms. Morris, you may redirect.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Duffy, when you were going to meet with Miss Furlong Smith, did she request at any point to meet you at your home?
No, ma'am.
Were you aware that there were any concerns about your home that needed to be addressed?
No, ma'am.
Do you believe there are concerns about your home that need to be addressed?
Other than it needs to be tidied up, no, ma'am.
Okay, do you think that there are any safety concerns for the children inside the home?
No.
Would you allow the children outside to play outside without you?
No.
And I'm specifically referencing the two little ones.
No.
Would you allow the children to play outside in the front or backyard without you, even if the yard was cleaned up?
No.
Do you allow them to play outside without you at your aunt's home or at the park?
No.
Okay. So, do you think that there is any reason why the condition of your backyard would pose a problem during your parenting time? You heard that there were some concerns about you falling asleep. Tell the court about your work schedule again.
I work a 9 to 5 Monday through Thursday and a Saturday. I'm off Friday and Sundays. Sundays I'm spending 9 hours with the girls, which I'm having to drive an hour to get there. I also drive a limousine.
So like any
Throughout the
working
week.
parent, you're probably tired at times.
Yeah.
Would you allow yourself to fall asleep and leave the children unattended?
No.
Have you ever allowed yourself to fall asleep and leave the children unattended?
No.
There were some emails from your wife that were shown to you. Did you purposely ignore those emails?
No, I received them literally the day of a meeting.
When your wife texts you, do you generally respond?
For the most part, yeah.
Do the two of you have any cordial conversation when you call for your FaceTime calls?
I only speak with the girls directly.
Okay. Would you like to speak with her?
Absolutely, if she's willing.
Okay. Have you ever has she ever indicated to you that she was trying to get a hold of you and couldn't?
No.
When she sent you those emails that you didn't respond to, did she try following up with a text or call?
No.
When you saw her at the exchanges or got on the FaceTime calls, did she ask you why you didn't respond to an email?
She doesn't talk to me at
Did you-
those meetings.
Did you think that there was an issue, that she was waiting for a response and was upset about it?
No.
Did you intend to upset her by not responding?
Not at all.
When your children had the fever, did you think that it was a serious illness?
Not off the top of my head. Kids and adults get a fever here and there, and it can be a spot. It can be an hour, it can be 5 hours, and then it goes away.
And you said that you learned about the fever on your way to go pick them up for your visit.
Correct.
So Ms. Duffy didn't indicate that it was a fever that would require them to not visit with you and stay home or anything like that.
Correct.
How were they that day?
They seem fine.
Did they seem like they were unusual?
They were a little lethargic and sluggish, and not as active as they normally are, but so I mean that was actually the day that we went back to the house and we just napped together. We watched some shows.
So you
They fell
adapted.
asleep on me.
So you adapted your plans to accommodate them
Yeah.
and see how they were doing. Did you, when you dropped them back off, did you have any concerns about them medically that you thought that she couldn't handle?
No,
And do you trust Ms. Duffy?
I do.
And so if you thought that they were sick, did you trust that she would get them the proper care, medication, that sort of thing?
Absolutely.
And how did they appear to you on Tuesday when you talked to them?
They seemed much better.
Did Ms. Duffy ever say to you that they had some illness that she needed you to consult with her about?
Never.
You keep diapers and pull-ups in your home? Is that
I have training panties for the 4-year-old, and I have size 6 diapers and wipes for the young one, for the 2-year-old.
Is a training panty different than a pull-up?
Yes.
Okay. Is it the same thing that Ms. Duffy sends the child in?
Yes.
Okay. And so you keep those products at your home? Do you have any problem continuing to keep those products
No,
at your
I
home?
mean, we'll be changing over from training panties to probably big girl panties here soon, but
Would you have any objection to using a parenting app
Not
with
at
Ms.
all.
Duffy? And if the court ordered it, would you be okay with making sure that you checked in before and after visits about things like medications or pull-ups or size changes? Do you expect Ms. Duffy to supply you with things like diapers and pull-ups during your parenting time?
nah,
Mr. Duffy, you use Facebook,
yeah,
and I imagine you have a smartphone.
yes.
When you open your phone, what does Facebook automatically log in?
It stays logged in. It's more than likely it's still in a tucked window that's hidden.
Are you on your phone when you have the children?
Rarely.
I'm sure you check your phone when you have
Yeah.
the children. Do you think it's interfering in any way with your parenting time?
No.
What kind of things do you feed the children during your parenting time?
Their biggest thing is chocolate chip pancakes and bacon, especially for the little girls. But the big kids eat it too, so.
Do your little ones drink out of regular cups? Do they drink out of sippy cups?
Sippy cups and straw cups and
What do you usually fill those sippy cups and straw cups with?
water. Or if mom drops them off, milk is for the 2-year-old.
Okay. Do you allow them to drink an entire cup or bottle of Coke or
No.
or any soda?
No, just a sip here and there.
So is that just a little treat?
Yeah,
Do you think that you are conscientious about what you feed your children and the activities you do with them?
I think so. I mean, the picture of the cup was an icy cup, and she's not gonna give a child brain freeze. Here, have a sip.
Thank you, Mr. Duff.
Stu, do you have any recross? Where do you currently, when you have visitation with the children, where do you exercise that?
I pick up in Dixon at the police station, and typically I will either go eat breakfast or we'll go to a park either nearby or in Nashville. We'll drive on.
Where do you live currently?
In Nashville.
Okay. And do you take them to your house?
Occasionally, yes, but we try to do things where they're active and I can be with them and see them flourish, not just sitting at home.
And where are you wanting to be able to take the children for unsupervised visitation?
Yeah, I want to be able to take them to the house and let them stay and, take them to just different places. Right now we go to the Frist and.
Well, then why would you not try to clean up that mess in the backyard if you're going to have young children there? If you knew, if that's what you're asking me to do, why haven't you already done it?
They don't typically play in the backyard anyway. A lot of the times we play at the park or we go to my aunt's house because she has an even bigger yard than what I have. That's more grass. Almost all of that's concrete and asphalt. Those
At
things
your
are not
house
mine,
is-
and I can't have that cleaned up.
Where you're living, is it a house
It's a house.
and it has a yard?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
And your children are, the summer is coming upon us. It's going to be 80-something degrees today. Don't you understand children will want to play outside, ride their bikes or do whatever?
Yes, sir.
And you understand why it concerns me that there's that kind of mess in the backyard or the
can
house
be
that you
cleaned.
want. And you assume, I want you to have unsupervised visitation. I want you to move towards a regular type of visitation with the children, which is what you want, I know. But it requires you to also do what needs to be done to try to reassure me, because while I want you to have the visitation, my interest is only about protecting the children.
Correct.
I have to balance the children's best interest and their safety and the mother's concerns about the safety, which are legitimate, I think, based on what we've seen in the past in this case. I have to balance that with the desire to move you towards a more regular type of visitation. And when things happen like this picture of you falling asleep during visitation or during a FaceTime call, and I know you say you were resting your eyes, but that clearly looks to me like you were asleep. Or when I hear that you were on Facebook while you had the children there and you don't remember when it was, I mean, that just sounds like it's being evasive. I want you to desire to have unsupervised visitation so much that you will be proactive in trying to do it. Now, I will congratulate you on doing the things. And this lady over here, Miss Smith, I've known her longer than either one of us really want to say, but she is probably one of the finest guardian ad litems that you will ever find in the state of Tennessee. With her background with the Department of Children's Services and her experience as an attorney, I'm of the opinion that I place great weight in what she says, and she tells me that you've made great progress, and I congratulate you for that. I want you to continue to make progress, but then there are blips that come up, and things like that. I'm aware of the fact that there was this order out of Wilson County. We had, that came up in a prior hearing, and that there was a restriction against you driving while you had the minor children in that situation. And I remember the instance where you went, with a gun to a home in Williamson County when you had your older children with you to help a client retrieve his phone. You remember that instance? And that
No, sir. If I can correct you, if that's
Sure,
correct,
I mean,
I never had my gun with me because I don't have my guns.
then
Miss
I
Duffy has my
apologize.
guns.
I agree, but you took the children with you to try to retrieve this guy's phone at a person's house. So under the circumstances, it just seems to me that there are still some issues that I have to be concerned about. I don't want to be concerned about them, but I, for the safety of the children, have to be. So I just want you to understand my thinking is I want you to have these unsupervised visits, and I want to expand it to a normal visitation, but there are still some things that bother me about this. So, all right, you can step down. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Ms. Morris, you ready for your next witness? You'll come up, please, ma'am. I'm going to ask you to come around here and raise your right hand and be placed under oath.
Ms. Russell, can you please remind the court your full name and your relationship to the parties?
My name's Connie Russell, and I'm Daryl Duffy's aunt.
And you are serving as supervisor in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
And you testified at the last hearing in January,
I
correct?
did.
And at that time, you had testified that you thought that it would be appropriate for Mr. Duffy to have some unsupervised time. Is that correct?
Yes, I did.
Do you recall at the last hearing he was given a longer visitation period?
He was.
Can you tell the court how that's been going?
It's been going great. It gives us more time with the kids instead of
Ms.
4
Russell,
hours.
grab the base of that microphone and pull it towards you a little bit so that you can, there you go,
Okay.
keep pulling. Just that way we can pick up what you're saying a little
Okay.
better.
Train of thought.
We were just
Yes.
telling the court about how the
Yes.
expanded visits are going.
It gives us more time to bond with them, and just be with the children. And in my view, we like it. They seem to love being with us as well. So I think it's going very well.
And has Mr. Duffy been exercising his visits every Sunday?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were present every Sunday?
Yes, ma'am.
Has Mr. Duffy ever violated the supervision order?
No, ma'am.
Are you within earshot of the children
Yes,
at all
ma'am.
times? Okay. And how are the children doing with the expanded visits?
They're doing fine. We go to the park, we take them eat lunch or breakfast. We go to the house, they play with the other 3 children. So yes, we're doing, I think we're doing really well with them.
Do you think that Daryl does a good job handling the little ones?
Yes, ma'am,
Do you think that he does a good job handling all 5 children together?
I do.
Have you seen a change in Daryl over the course of this proceeding since he's finished his courses?
I've seen a tremendous change in him.
Can you tell the court about that a little bit?
He seems like he's more calmer than he used to be. He seems like he's more aware of what's going on around him. And, I mean, it's just an overall, he's just starting to be overall just a lot more calmer and taking care of things. Yeah, it's been a big difference.
Do you notice an impact on the children and his relationship with them?
I do, yes.
Do you have any observations about how he handles disciplinary issues?
Well, it can be just like me, you know, if they get out of hand, I'll do things, I'll tell them you can't do this. If they do something, I'll put them and tell them they can't watch TV when they're with me. With him, he does the same thing. He sends them to his room, tries to get them to calm down. And, but yeah, he takes care of the situation.
Do you feel that the way that he interacts with the children is appropriate at all times?
Yes, ma'am.
How does he handle things like feeding the kids, potty training, you know, basic caretaking type stuff?
Okay, with the potty training, I know Brittany's been working with Addie, and Addie, when she needs to go to the bathroom, he takes her to the bathroom. We have a potty chair at his house, and, you know, she's seems comfortable doing that. We feed them, like I said, there's times when we leave here and go back to Nashville, I fix breakfast for them. Sometimes we go out and get lunch. Of course, Addie's, she's a nugget girl.
Chicken nuggets?
Yeah, she doesn't eat a whole lot of different things. And, but yeah, we just, you know, we feed them, we take care of them while we're there.
Do you feel like Daryl does a good job with that? Is he feeding them well, nutritious things?
Yes, ma'am.
How do the children interact with one another?
With all 5 children,
Yes, with all 5 children.
they do real well. Parker, of course, when the kids get in the band and the kids are there, they're always wanting to talk to the other kids and talk to Ellen, and they want hugs and kisses from Jackson and Parker. So, yeah, and if we're out playing at the park, you know, the kids they're playing together, you know, we push them in swings, and they just interact real well.
Do they come to your house sometimes during the visits?
They do.
And what kinds of things, how is your house set up? What kinds of things do they do?
They play out in the front yard.
Okay. And
We
what
have
is your front
toys.
yard like?
It's level and big, and it's a nice place to play.
Are there any safety concerns there?
No, ma'am.
Does Daryl ever let the children play outside by themselves?
No, we're usually sitting outside with them.
Do you ever go to Daryl's house during the visits?
We do.
Can you tell the court about that, when you've gone there and what you've done there?
We go, like I said, when we go there, whatever time it is, a lot of times I do the breakfast food for them. The kids play together. They've got their toys there. They play with all 3 of the big kids. So, I mean, I'm usually sitting there in the living room and watching, so, and helping with them. But other than that,
Are there any safety concerns about Daryl's home?
I don't think so, no, ma'am.
Do the kids ever play outside at Daryl's house?
No, mm-mm.
And why is that?
For one, he's got big bushes and stuff in the front yard, and in the back, there's a few cars back there, which are my brother's cars.
They're your brother's cars?
They're my brother's cars.
So is the yard set up for them?
It can be.
But it's not right now.
Well, right, but they normally play at my house, so, because I've got the big front yard, and they can kick balls and do whatever else there, so.
How far do you live from Daryl?
Less than a mile. Yeah.
And do you also sometimes see Daryl with his big kids when you're not doing your supervising?
Most definitely.
Did you say, I'm sorry?
Yes, most definitely.
Most definitely. And do you ever help with childcare?
I do.
Are there any concerns about, from your perspective, about Daryl during his parenting time with the older kids when you're not there?
No, because there's lots of times I'm not with him when he's with his older kids, and, they go do different things, so I don't think there's any problem with that.
Do you have any concerns about if the court were to allow Daryl to have unsupervised visits and you to no longer be there? Do you have any concerns about how he would handle all 5 children?
No, I don't think so.
Do you think that the children could benefit from unsupervised time with him?
I think they could, instead of me hanging around all the time.
Do you
But
think,
I like doing that, yeah,
would you, if you were not a supervisor, would you still be available if Daryl needed you?
anytime at all.
And would you still have your home open for him to come if
Yes.
they needed to come there to play or whatever
Yes,
they needed to do?
ma'am. It's open 24/7.
Do you have any concerns about how the little ones would do if they were to be with Daryl overnight or for a full weekend?
I think they would do okay. This isn't his first rodeo with raising little ones. Changing the diapers, feeding them, things like that. So, yeah, I think he would be okay with it.
Have you ever observed, during Daryl's parenting time, have you ever observed him falling asleep?
He does occasionally. Mm-hmm.
Can you tell the court about that?
I'm sorry, but we're gonna need you to move up a little bit closer to that microphone so that
Okay.
Ms. Duke can be sure to hear you. Scoot your chair up there.
I'll
if you
repeat
want
the
to.
last question. I asked you if you had ever observed Daryl falling asleep during his parenting.
Yeah, when we've been at home,
And can you tell the court about that?
he just dozes off. And if he does, I wake him up.
Have you ever felt that he was falling asleep at a time that it would be inappropriate for him to fall asleep?
Not really.
Do you
'Cause
think,
like I said, I'm always with him.
do you think that if he were on his own with the kids, that he would have a hard time staying awake?
Dane,
Do you think that, have you observed that he has had, while you've been with them, have you observed that he has a hard time staying awake?
Not a hard time staying awake, no.
Have you observed him using his phone while he's parenting?
On his phone? Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell the court about that?
Just normal phone usage. I don't know what to tell you as to how often, how frequent, what are you asking?
Well, just that, just your observation
Yeah.
of how often, how frequent, is it interfering with his parenting time at all in any way?
I don't believe it is,
Is there anything else that you would like the court to know?
Not that I know of.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Duke, you may cross-examine.
Ms. Russell, we met previously,
Yes,
and, just to start with, I appreciate you helping out with this case. Now, when you've observed Mr. Duffy falling asleep during his visits, that actually happens at all the visits, doesn't it?
not all of it.
At least once.
No.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm usually there, and I will wake him up, say hey, and
And you doze off too at times, don't you?
no,
Okay, you don't take any naps?
I do not take any naps.
Okay. And you've helped to watch the older kids, or has he hired a babysitter when he's limo driving when the kids are there?
I'm there.
Okay.
I'm with the kids.
Okay. And he has done a little bit of has he done a little bit of limo driving when the younger children are there also?
No,
Okay, just the older children.
right.
Do you understand that there is an order out of Wilson County that prevents him from driving the limo while he's got his older children?
I did not.
You saw him this morning in court, and I saw you nudge him when he was asleep over here. You saw him fall asleep in the courtroom also.
Today?
Yes, ma'am.
I just got in here.
No, when we were sitting here having the docket called early this morning, you saw him fall.
I've been out in the hallway the whole time.
Okay. Well, I'll call your paralegal. I'm just joking. She's probably right, Judge. I apologize. Now, when you and Mr. Duffy stop at the store and you run in to grab things, tell me how that goes.
I run in the store to use the bathroom usually,
Okay.
because we're on the road so often,
Okay.
coming from here to Nashville. I go in, do my business, and I'm right out.
Okay, and during that time period, the minor children are alone with Mr. Duffy, is that correct?
They usually, the other three big children are with him as well.
And you have witnessed Mr. Duffy get angry at family meals and yell at the minor children.
When they misbehave, he'll raise his voice. It's not really yelling.
Okay.
He raises his voice to tell them to sit down.
So if the minor children report to the mother that he's yelling loud enough that it scares them and it creates a little bit of a ruckus in the restaurant, is that accurate?
I don't think that it's happened in the restaurants. I don't recall an incident of that happening in a restaurant.
Do you call an incident of it happening somewhere else?
Not that I know of, other than, like I said, just in the car, if we're in the car and they're misbehaving, the boys in the back are hitting each other, he'll raise his voice and tell them to stop doing that.
And you confirm for the court that Mr. Duffy is on his phone from time to time? when
As we
he's got
all
the
are,
children?
I'm sure Mom, she's on her phone from time to time when she has her children.
Have you been inside Mr. Duffy's home recently?
I'm in there all the time,
And he's got boxes stacked to the ceiling in there?
right?
And,
They're not to the ceiling, they're there. There's
okay.
things that we gotta put up.
And it really is not the cleanest of environments right now, is it?
It is. Me and some of the older children will go in there and clean. When I've got them sitting over there, I'll go clean. We'll clean the bathrooms. We sweep. We do all that. We keep it clean.
Okay, so where does Mr. Duffy fall in being responsible for himself and his home? I mean, if you're doing all of these things, why is Mr. Duffy not
He
doing
does
them?
other things as well. He does the clothes and things like that. So, it's a shared responsibility.
So how many boxes high are the boxes stacked in his home?
And they're only in two places. One's in the front corner of the living room, the other one's in the corner of the dining room.
Okay,
That's
so
the only
my
place
question
they're
for
stocked.
you was, how many boxes
Maybe
high?
4.
Okay, and you understand that 2-year-olds and 4-year-olds climb
Climb,
quite a bit?
yes, ma'am, I do.
Yes, okay. And so if you'll just let me finish my question and then you answer. That's a safety concern because they can climb up on the boxes and they can fall, can't they?
I assume they could, but they haven't.
Okay. And his back area in his home is in no condition for children to be in that backyard, is it?
Not at this point. Here again, we have my brother's stuff. He used to live in the home. My brother's stuff is still underneath the carport,
Okay, and
and 2 of his vehicles are there.
you agree with me that Mr. Duffy has been in that home for a year now and more than capable of at least getting that area cordoned off so that the children don't make access to
Well,
it?
they don't go back in the backyard anyway. They don't go back there.
So you're saying that the minor children are only going to get to play outside if they come to your home?
No, most of the time we're doing stuff with them. We're not at home all the time.
But if Mr. Duffy is to fall asleep during one of the visits and the children slip out of the house, what are we doing to ensure that they don't hurt themselves back there?
We haven't done anything.
Okay. At the visits, Mr. Duffy generally takes them to McDonald's or fast food places. Is that fair?
We go McDonald's because of chicken nuggets. We go to like Denny's. They eat their chocolate chip pancakes. We eat dinner. We have snacks for them in the cars at the house.
Okay. And they're drinking Cokes. The kids drink Cokes. Is that right?
Addie drinks nothing but water.
Okay.
Layla, occasionally she'll get a sip of Coke, but she's not drinking tons of Cokes.
Do you know how to explain the 2-year-old showing back up to the house with a full Coke drinking on it
From back
from McDonald's?
It's probably one of the kids drinks. I'm not sure.
Judge, if I may have one moment, I think I'm done.
All right. Beth, you have any questions? I remembered you and you don't have any questions. Ms. Morris, do you have any redirect? Thank you, ma'am. You may step down. You can have a seat in the courtroom if you like.
Thank you.
All right, there are no other witnesses. You have proof you wish to offer? All right. Ms. Duffy, if you'll come around, please.
Start out. Do you want your children to have a father?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me, tell the court what you want to see in order to make sure that they have a good relationship and it's safe.
A stable environment, a place in their house that I'm not concerned for their safety, a concern that they're not going to be emotionally damaged from spending time there. I can't think of anything else.
Okay. Miss Russell did not seem to be too terribly concerned about the boxes. Are you concerned about the boxes in inside of Mr. Duffy's home?
I am, because I have a daredevil of a 2-year-old.
Okay. And does she try to climb at your house?
She does, and I have to keep my eyes on her.
And are you concerned about the stuff that is outside of Mr. Duffy's home?
I am, because kids are curious, and I'm afraid that something will hurt them.
Okay. And are you concerned that he's had a year to take care of these things and he's not done them?
I am.
This morning when we were sitting here, what was your observation of Mr. Duffy?
That's a full question.
I'm sorry. Did you notice that he was falling asleep this morning in court?
I did.
Okay. Are you concerned that maybe he needs a sleep study or something that?
Turn your microphone on that table on so I can.
There's really no basis for Ms. Duffy to have an opinion as to whether my client needs a sleep study.
Overruled. She's asked her whether does she have concerns about your client falling asleep in the courtroom and whether or not he needs a sleep study. That's not something that would require expert testimony.
Are you concerned that he needs a sleep study and needs to take care of himself?
I am.
Okay. And based on him falling asleep in a public place, are you concerned that if he were to get unsupervised visitation, that he would fall asleep with your children?
Yes.
And when you two were together, you did not leave your children unsupervised with him, did you?
I did not. And if I had to go anywhere, they were all with me.
Okay. Was it because of his sleeping habits?
One and lots of other issues.
And when you've been on FaceTime with Mr. Duffy, and I say you, it's your children on FaceTime, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Have you witnessed him falling asleep on multiple occasions?
Yes, I have.
Okay. You put dates on that picture. Were those the dates that you've witnessed him fall asleep?
Yes, because
repeatedly?
I have multiple pictures, but I didn't think I needed more than one.
Okay. And are you concerned that Mr. Duffy won't even acknowledge that he's falling asleep regularly? That
Yes.
he kind of evaded that question? Okay. To your knowledge, is Mr. Duffy supposed to be driving that limo when he has his children, his older children?
He is not supposed to be driving.
Okay. Are you concerned that when you send him an email about your children, that he's not responding?
Yes, he's not responding, and I know that's his email because it's been the same the whole time.
Okay. And At some point in time, was there a brown recluse issue in the home where he's living?
There was.
Okay. Do you know about any remedial actions he's taken in order to take care of the brown recluse issue?
Not recently, no.
Let's talk about potty training. Did you send your child in a pull-up to his home?
Yes, through January after our last court date, I immediately started or continued to potty train her. And I sent him with underwear, extra clothes, extra pull-ups in a bag so that he would have those because I didn't know if he had any. And I sent her in a pull-up, and every single time that month, she came back in a diaper.
And you heard him testify that he only had her for 9 hours, so he wasn't going to be. He says he was taking her to the bathroom, but to your knowledge, was he checking with her about needing to go?
Sustain the objection.
Has the minor child been upset when she's returned to you about potty training?
In what way?
Has she been upset about accidents?
No.
Okay. Has Mr. Duffy discussed this Jessica person that could be a potential babysitter with you?
No.
Turn your microphone on there. Turn the microphone and there's a button on the base.
I'm going to object because Mr. Duffy's testimony was that Jessica babysat for the older children, not that she would babysit or has babysat for the younger children.
Well, the basis of your objection is that he
Not
never
relevant.
testified, but she's asking her whether he discussed it with her.
I guess my objection is that it's not really relevant because this is a babysitter for children that are not in this case.
Well, it would be relevant if this court gives him unsupervised time and this Jessica person is the babysitter.
Oh, if I give unsupervised time, I'll deal with who can be the caregiver. So
I'll move on then.
sustain the objection.
Are you concerned that he is not following court orders out of another court?
Yes.
You concerned about him following the court orders of this court?
Yes, because he's already not following on the other.
Okay. And you heard Ms. Russell testify today that she is not supervising all the visitation. She's leaving the children and Mr. Duffy in the car by themselves. Is that
Correct.
correct? Does that concern you?
It does.
Have your minor children been upset about events in a restaurant where Mr. Duffy has yelled at them
Yes.
since we were in court the last time?
Yes.
Now, we tendered to the court several documents that show on February the 2nd that he was on his phone almost the entire visit. But you heard him testify that that just means he's logged in. Is that accurate?
No, it means you're active on Facebook
Okay.
in some way.
Scrolling it, is that correct? And if he has his children, is there any reason for him to even be on Facebook?
No.
Mr. Duffy explained to the court that he was blamed for after 4 hours for a diaper rash on one of your children, and it turned out to be a virus. Was that 2 different occasions?
It is. A diaper rash is different from the rash that she still, but is almost over right now.
Okay.
What was the rash?
The rash is called,
Hand, foot, and mouth disease?
no, it's musculum contagiosum or something that lasts about a year.
And is it common in children?
It's very common in that age group, yes.
Okay. And did you give Mr. Duffy the information about that so he wouldn't spread it to the other children or himself?
Yes, because it is contagious.
Okay. And at any point in time, did he respond to your emails that you were sending?
He did not.
Have you communicated by email in the past?
I do email because of our previous court orders.
Okay. And over email, is that his email address?
It is.
Does he ever check back in on the kids when you express to him that there has been some issue with them, some illness, some sickness, that you're changing pediatricians? Does he co-parent or cooperate with you in any way regarding their health and wellness?
No.
Does he check on them aside from FaceTiming with them? Does he ask you how they're doing?
No.
If this court decides to expand any of Mr. Duffy's time, are you asking the court to grant you the right of first refusal to keep the minor children?
Yes.
Are you asking that the court continue the drop-offs to be at the Dixon Police Department?
Yes.
Have you noticed any reluctance with your minor children in being around their father or even talking to them?
As far as them saying, I don't want to go, yes, Addie has said once or twice that she does not want to go.
Have you tried to encourage that she go and enjoy her time with her father?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Now, Mr. Duffy made issue with the fact that you're emailing and not texting, but have you texted in the past?
I have when he has FaceTime and we have missed it. In order for him to know that I got the call, I say they're in the bath or I'll call you back in just a minute.
Okay, and does he ever respond to those text messages?
He doesn't respond back.
Any reason you can't use text messaging instead of email?
There was an early, I think on this restraining order part of it, we had all discussed that they would just email one another, and now that is not an issue, so they can absolutely just text.
I can tell you that I don't always check my emails as frequently as I should personal email, and I can understand why he might not. But text messages, it alerts your phone, and you know immediately you've got a text message. Seems to me it'd be a more direct way of communication.
I was unsure based on our previous court what was appropriate.
Well, we're gonna try to move forward on some things, so go ahead.
Yeah, I think that's fine now, Judge. Is there anything else for this court that you've got concerns over? I mean, I think we've gotten those in through Mr. Duffy and Ms. Russell, but is there anything else you'd like to tell the court?
I don't think so.
Okay, thank you.
I don't have any questions for Ms. Duffy.
Ms. Smith, do you have any questions? Thank you, ma'am. You may step down. Ms. Dude, do you have any other witnesses? Does Mr. Duffy have any rebuttal proof?
No, Your Honor.
Then I'll hear you in argument.
Your Honor, the court has had Mr. Duffy having supervised visitation for about a year now, and most recently has expanded it. He's up to 9 hours a day. And I do understand that there have been concerns in the past. I do believe he's addressed them. He's gone to extensive anger management classes and parenting classes, and he has really worked hard to try to figure out a way to maximize his time with the children and make it as good of a quality time as possible. And this is really detrimental to his relationship with the children for him to continue to be under these restrictions. He is not able to have a normal parenting relationship where they can fall asleep in his home and have bedtime stories together and wake up in the morning. It's limiting their ability to have their relationships with their siblings. And at this point, we really do think it would be appropriate, consistent with both the recommendations of Dr. Davis, who's testified twice in the past, as well as the guardian ad litem, that we start to lift the supervision and gradually expand his time. And I think that there's really no way for him to prove that he can do this and that it's going well other than to be able to be given the opportunity to do that. When we've come in today over these last few months, both in the guardian ad litem's report as well as from the testimony from my client and the supervisor, things are clearly going a lot better. He's gotten a handle on some of the issues that the court was concerned about in the past. He's making better decisions. The time is going well. The kids are responding well. And, you know, all we've heard today in terms of the concerns are things that no parent is perfect. You know, if the court were only going to give supervised time to people who never gave their kid a sip of soda or glanced at their phone or nodded off, we would all not have our children with us, myself included. These are things that happen. I highly doubt that the mother or anybody else in this courtroom could stand up and say that they have never done the things that we've heard about that are concerns today. I don't think it's fair to Mr. Duffy for him to continue to be limited in his ability to have a relationship with his children because he's not 100% perfect. Again, the only way that he's going to get even better and the kids are going to have a better relationship and experience is if he continues to have more time with them. He has unsupervised time with his older children, 50% schedule. We've talked about that in the past. He has them all but one weekend of the month. Dr. Davis has previously recommended that the younger children be on the same schedule as the older children. We've heard testimony that the children enjoy their time together and that the older ones are helpful with the little ones, particularly the oldest girl. And we would really like to get to that point. The guardian ad litem in her report has recommended that it be done gradually. And I would propose to the court that the best plan going forward would be for Mr. Duffy to be able to have his supervision lifted and start with an unsupervised day, followed by an overnight, followed by getting his full weekend. And he has testified that he is, you know, willing to, if there are concerns about the yard and the court wants him to clean that yard up and show proof and put it into the court record, he's happy to do that. He'll do that by next week if the court wants him to. Ms. Furlong Smith has indicated that she's happy to follow up and do a home visit and submit something to the court confirming that that's, ready to go and that she doesn't have any concerns. And I would ask that if those things are done, that he be able to start to have the supervision lifted and start to have expanded time without having to come back here again for another review hearing months away, because this has gone on for too long and it's going to make it harder and harder for him to have a normal relationship with the kids the longer that this goes, that they're not used to being in his home.
Thank you. Ms. Duke?
The concern is that Mr. Duffy is under a microscope right now. And he's continued to have the exact same issues he had on day one of this case. Your Honor witnessed him falling asleep on the front row of the courtroom this morning.
I think that's the first time anybody's ever fallen asleep in the courtroom.
Not at the beginning, I would say not at the beginning of the docket, in fairness. I would say that Ms. Russell even admitted that he's still falling asleep during his visitations. He is still getting angry and scaring the kids when they're going out to eat, which was one of the major issues Your Honor witnessed on the video. He is violating a court order out of Wilson County. I don't know how we can move forward until we know he's not going to violate something like the order in this case. He's on his phone the entire visit. He's not being attentive to the children. His home is not a proper place for the children at this point in time. There are hazards in his home. There are hazards outside of his home. And I think that respectfully, opposing counsel is trying to say that the only way to prove that he can do this is to put the kids' safety at risk. I just don't agree that we're to that point yet, because he's under a microscope and he's still doing these things. Again, Mom wants the children to have a father, but we need a safe place for the children.
Ms. Smith?
Let me start out with what I don't know. I didn't know the house was an issue, and I can go there. That's not a problem. And I don't know what the dot means on Facebook. I was kind of lost.
Well, that makes two of us, because I'm not on Facebook.
Maybe it's because, we didn't grow up with it. The little girls were, their mother was just very attentive. I was very impressed. She was nurturing. They were doing some drawings, and you could tell they were they had a really good relationship. Now, when I did observe Mr. Duffy with all 5 of his children, and, you know, I'm the mother of 4, so I understand having 4 kids at the park, but everything went well, and I was, I can't think of her name, the oldest girl, but she was just a sweetheart, and she was really good with the kids, and the kids played together. Mr. Duffy did interact with, especially the 2 youngest, and you know, on the swings and everything. That's what I saw. Now, the sleep issues, that's a little concerning. I don't know. Like I said, mother of 4. But that might be something he might want to look into. And plus, cleaning up his yard. And my recommendation is, I don't know about this Wilson County order either. I didn't have the benefit.
I'll let Wilson County deal with Wilson County's order, and I'll deal with mine. So.
But I do think that after talking with Ms. Forrest Pugh and Dr. Davis, and especially Mr. Duffy's ex-wife, because she noted in the beginning of their split, divorce, she had some issues with Mr. Duffy. She told me that she had seen a great change in his behavior. The children were no longer wanted to go to see him, whereas before they had expressed some reluctance. That was very informative, I thought. I do think that this should go on, that any kind of unsupervised should be on a gradual basis, like Sunday, hours on Sunday, and then we'll see how that goes. I don't really and not at his house till he cleans up the yard. As I understand, the yard has, you know, all that stuff in it. But they do spend a lot of time at Miss Russell's. I gathered that from my conversation with her at the park. They go there. Miss Russell and Mr. Duffy are very close, and she's more than willing to help out. I would not recommend any overnight at this time, but limit it to visitation in the community or at Ms. Russell's. From what the providers have told me and what his ex-wife told me, but that who had seen a change. Ms. Forrest Pugh didn't have any concerns with the services she provided. She felt like he incorporated those into his life, that he'd learned from them. There we are. I don't see any reason at this time to deny some type of unsupervised visit, and it starts in short periods of time. That's my position. And I'll be glad to go to the house and after he cleans it up.
This thing's been going on now for a year. We started out with concerns about Mr. Duffy's anger, the episode that was on camera about what happened at the bowling alley and him jerking one of the children up and so forth. All of those issues were of great concern to the court. That's the reason he's had supervised visitations. He has made great progress, and I believe that making great progress can't be ignored, and it should be recognized. And otherwise, if someone makes progress and no beneficial result, why would they continue to make progress? I mean, you know, there's got to be some reward, a carrot at the end of that stick, so to speak. So it is my opinion that we need to move towards some sort of unsupervised visitation. But I shouldn't have to order you to clean up your house for minor children of this age, a 5-year-old and a almost 3-year-old, you know, and what I see in these photographs of the backyard of your house is not acceptable, in my opinion, for children to be exposed to and have to go out inside and play. And there's a bicycle, children's bicycles right there in that photograph, right up against all of that junk that's there. And I think that's a dangerous, unacceptable condition. So, you know, I want you to have regular visitation. I want you to have unsupervised visitation and to move in that direction. But that burden is going to have to be on you to do some things that I shouldn't have to keep telling you what to do. We shouldn't have to tell you how to bring yourself in line with what a conventional visitation schedule would be. But you married him, and you knew what he was like as a parent because he had these older children, and you have to bear some of that responsibility. So while we can compare and complain and nitpick about every little thing he does wrong, it can't always be a perfect, as Ms. Morris stated, none of us are perfect parents. And having grown up in a home where my father was quick to yell and fuss at us, I'm familiar with what it's like to be a child that your parents yell at you. And I used to tell the story about my brother and I when we lived in Wicks, Arkansas. I was probably about the age of his older children. We hid under the floor of the house to get away from my dad when he came home mad one day. That's the kind of things that last, you create those memories for your children when you do that. And I've tried to, and probably in this case I've told you this. When you lose your temper and you yell at your children, or you throw things, or you do things that let your temper get away from you, all you're doing is scaring your children, and you're ensuring that their memories of you as a parent are going to stay with them for the rest of their lives. And if that's what you want them to have of you, an image of you as a father, then you can keep doing it. You know, I can't control every minute of the day that they're with you, but you need to think about how you're interacting with your children and what kind of impression you're making on them as a father and what kind of parents you want them to grow up, because it is statistically shown, and I'm not saying you're abusing your children, but the same principle applies. Children who are abused oftentimes end up being abusers themselves, because guess what? That's what they learned. And children whose parents are angry and volatile and hostile towards them when they're younger will likely grow up and be angry and hostile and volatile towards their own children, your grandchildren in the future. If that's what you want, then you've got them headed in the right direction. If that's not what you want, now is the time to change your behavior towards your children. And I believe that you've made great progress. And so for that reason, I'm going to grant you your request for unsupervised visitation. But there are going to be limitations on that. For one, I'm not going to allow you to have your unsupervised visitations at this home right now. You're going to have to exercise it at Miss Russell's home. And Miss Russell is a fine lady, and she, you know, she has probably bit off more than she could chew in some respects, but she's willing to help you. And that speaks volumes about her as a person. So right now, the visitation is going to remain at 9 to 5 on Sundays. That's what it's been. But it will be unsupervised, but it will be exercised at Miss Russell's home. Now, what that means is that she doesn't have to stay in your presence every second of every day. If you want to take the kids and go, you know, to the park, you can do that. But you're not going to do it at your home until the following things get done. Number one, I am going to order that you clean that place up. I'm going to order that you clean the backyard up, and that's going to be done within 15 days. You're going to do whatever and Miss Duffy is correct about one thing. If you have grandchildren that are active and climbing on things, or if you have children, I say grandchildren because of my own reference, but if you have children that are active at 2 or 3 years old and they're climbing on things, they don't know that it's a danger to them to climb on a stack of boxes. But a stack of boxes can fall on those children and hurt them or kill them. So we're going to get rid of the boxes. And before any overnight visitation changes and we go to that schedule of what my aim is to increase your visitation unsupervised to include overnight. But before that happens, your home's going to be inspected by the guardian ad litem. I'm going to give you 15 days to complete the cleaning and so forth of your home, to allow the guardian ad litem to come sometime after that, and that'll be done at her convenience, to come to your home. Now, Ms. Duffy, if you want to go to that home and you want to inspect it too, then Ms. Duffy's going to be allowed to come to that home at the same time and inspect it as well. As far as I'm concerned, the lawyers can go and inspect it as well. I want to make sure that there's no issues. When this inspection takes place, there will be no argument between you and Ms. Duffy, no argument between you and Ms. Smith. It will be only pure kindness and gentle dealing with each other during that visit. And Ms. Russell can be there too, just to ensure that you got somebody in your corner. You understand that? So we're going to do that after you've been given 15 days to clean this mess up. And the other thing I'm going to tell you is that before overnight visitation takes place, and before I make that final decision, I strongly urge you to have a sleep study done on yourself. It is available. Vanderbilt does them. They're available. I've had friends who have done them. And there is a disease called narcolepsy. And narcolepsy is one of those things that there's nothing, nothing shameful about it. Some people just fall asleep, and that's because they can't stay awake. Well, obviously, if you fell asleep in court today, and I'm aware of that, if you had your eyes closed and were falling asleep during a Zoom call with your children, and that's, in my opinion, clearly what this photograph that was brought in shows. That's you with your head back and you're asleep. You can say you had your eyes closed, but that doesn't appear that way to me. So I'm going to recommend that you get that sleep study so you can determine if there's any kind of problems. I know that you work nights and things like that, but the fact of the matter is that it does cause concerns. With children of the age that these two children we're dealing with here, you can't afford to fall asleep and without keeping an eye on them. And if you're wanting unsupervised visitation, you need to address that issue. The other thing that I'm going to recommend is to obtain before the overnight or before the visitation takes place in your home, I want you to engage a commercial pest control to go in and spray for brown recluse spiders and any other kind of insects. Why do I do that? I have that done at my own house. You ever seen a brown recluse spider in your house? You will never want to see one again. You will want to get rid of them. If you've ever been bitten by a brown recluse, they're a painful, awful thing, and it creates a hole in wherever you're bitten. The skin decays, the tissue decays, and you end up with a hole in your body from where that spider has bitten you. You just don't need to put these children at risk of that. So we're going to have that sprayed, and that commercial spraying will take place before we move to the next level where you're going to be visiting with the children. Exchanges will take place still at the Dixon Police Department. And at this point, the only thing I'm going to say is that if you need a caregiver during your unsupervised visitation for right now, then you're going to use Miss Russell and Miss Russell only, because she's the one who's most familiar with them. So if you can't get her to care for the children, then Miss Duffy will have the right to refuse to provide care for them. Now you're only going to have them from 9 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon. I would think you don't need to have a caregiver for that length of time, but if you do, that's what you're going to have to do. I'm going to set a review, not because I want to keep bringing you back, but I want to see how the progress is made for us to be able to move forward and move you in the direction of getting out of this court. I know the last thing you want to do is keep coming back here. It's an expensive thing, but this is still a pending divorce, right? They have not resolved their divorce. Let's just make it 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. All right, 8-hour day, 9-hour day, actually, if you count the lunch hour. I have some small degree of flexibility. I can set a review in July on either the 18th or the 31st. Those are dates that I have still available.
I have the 18th available. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, this is July.
I'm sorry,
You said July, not June?
July 18th.
Yes, I have that available.
Will that work for you, Ms. Morris?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Then I will make that a Chancery Day and in Dixon County, even though I'm in Cheatham County that month. So we'll do Dixon Chancery and we'll review you on that day. Now, hopefully on that day, all of this has been cleaned up. You've gotten a sleep study, you've gotten your brown recluse problem resolved, and things are going well with your unsupervised visitation, and we can now then move to the next step. That's what I hope and anticipate. As far as the other issues about, concerns about the children, just make sure that there's not any issues that go on. He'll still have the FaceTime calls as was previously ordered, and go from there. I'm not ordering the sleep study. What I'm saying is that if he wants to go to unsupervised visitation, that would be a strong piece of evidence for the court to consider. That's up to him. I don't want to impose on him the expense and the requirement of it, but I don't give advice. But if I were to give advice, I would give advice to someone who is having this kind of issue. They get that kind of a sleep study. All right.
And Your Honor, my understanding is the same is true with respect to the pest control. It's not in order, but it is also strongly
No,
encouraged
the
by the
pest
court.
control is in order.
Is in order, okay.
I don't want the children going in there if there's a possibility that there could be brown recluse spiders. And it's not a cleanliness issue. Brown recluse basically, they come in where it's dark and, things are stacked like boxes, and that can happen. So I've had them in my home many, many years ago, and I've seen them, and I don't ever want to have them again. So. Commercial, yeah, we're not going to go to Lowe's and get a home, pest spray. We're going to have a certification from a commercial insect control company that they have sprayed, and that spray would include any kind of brown recluse. So. All right,
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Mars, who's drawing the order? All right. Yes.